G'day and welcome to my Cities Skylines 2 tutorial series. Have a video you want to see? Drop me a comment below. So one of my favorite mass transit options in the game is trains. We've got passenger trains and cargo trains. First up, you want to check if the map you're playing on has outside rail connections. At the time this video was released, only the Twin Mountain map doesn't have an outside rail connection, but best to check before you start. It's not a problem if it doesn't, it just means that you'll need to purchase the tiles all the way from your city to the edge of the map in order to make an outside rail connection. So if you're not playing with everything unlocked, it might take a little while to get there. If you do have a rail connection as part of the map, as long as it's in a tile that you've purchased, you're all good. You don't need to buy the tiles to the edge, just to the rail line that has that outside connection. Before you place down a train station or a cargo train terminal, if you're not playing on everything unlocked, they won't be available to us until we place a rail yard. Think of this like a bus depot, tram depot, that type of thing. It's gonna supply your trains. Unlike Cities Skylines 1, in CS2 trains won't spawn automatically from an outside connection and deliver passengers or goods to your stations. You have to create them yourself. Once you've got your rail yard down, now you want to plop your train station or your cargo train terminal and hook them up to a train line that's connected to that rail yard. If you want separate lines for cargo and passengers, you need to make sure that the rail yard is hooked in to both lines, or that you put down two separate rail yards to supply trains for both, or your trains won't spawn. Once you've placed down your desired station, you want to use the route tool to create your passenger or cargo route. Now if you have multiple stations, you can connect them up with one route, then use another route from one central station to the outside connection. Or you can hook them all up to an outside connection, or not at all. It's entirely up to you and how you like to play. But the important thing is, if you want a passenger or cargo rail line hooked into that outside connection, you need to create it yourself. It just doesn't happen automatically like in CS1, and you need to make sure you create that loop from one end to the other and back again. Once you've got your rail line created, you can either click here on the transportation info panel or down here on the new transportation overview, which will open up a panel for you to have a look at your new line. We also have a handy tab now that separates passenger lines from cargo lines. From here we can deactivate a line or reactivate it, we can change the color of the line, and if we click this magnifying glass to look at the line details, we can see a lot of useful information. We can change ticket prices, change the number of assigned vehicles, the schedule where we can make the service just run during the day or the night or both, and then we can even delete the line if we wish. One thing to always remember though, it's your rail yard that is supplying the trains, and there is a limit to how many trains it will support. The rail yard supports 10 to start with, and once you reach that limit, you need to plop down another rail yard and hook that in like we explained earlier, or expand it using an upgrade. Upgrades for any building appear when you click on them, and for the rail yard you can see we have the extra tracks upgrade, which will provide us with 5 additional vehicles, and the maintenance hall, which will make train maintenance faster. That's right, trains need maintenance now too. We'll click on the extra tracks upgrade here, and you can see it's a one-time upgrade, so the maximum vehicles the rail yard will support is 15 in total. Some other buildings allow you to place multiple upgrades of the same type, others are just one-off upgrades like this, and you can see that this orange tool icon appears when we've maxed out that type of upgrade. Train stations also have a number of upgrades, from extra platforms allowing you to create even more passenger train lines in your city, to the subway interface, which allows you to bring in a metro connection to the station, the taxi stop, which allows taxis to pick up and drop off sims directly at your station, to the station services upgrade, which increases the comfort level by 30. And these are all only one-time upgrades, as you can see. The same applies to cargo train terminals, where you can add one-time extra tracks to allow a secondary line into your terminal, or additional storage warehouses which you can add multiple of, providing they fit around the sides of where you've placed your cargo terminal. Your train should spawn from your rail yard. You need to watch and make sure they do, or there'll be an issue with how they've been set up. But once they spawn, they'll be ferrying passengers and cargo all over your city. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one, and happy building!